What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today, guys, we are going to complete the Premier League SBC, the Premier League Team of the Season SBC, and I'm going to give you guys a rundown of my custom tactics, player instructions, and team setup for all three variants that I used this weekend league. It's something that I get asked for a lot, so I thought let me just put a video to it right now so we can use this as a dedicated kind of like offering. So whenever people now are like, what are your custom tactics and instructions and stuff, I can show them. I don't necessarily think using somebody else's custom tactics or player instructions is worthwhile. I think building your own to, cater towards your own style of play is more important. Also, because of the EPL Team of the Season SBC, player prices have gone through the roof. I'm looking to probably make, I'll try and resell these once they don't sell, but we'll end up picking up like another couple 100,000 coins easy off of some of my gold players, maybe even 300,000-400,000, which is amazing, obviously, because it means that I'm going to get very much closer to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I will show you about a little bit in the club as well, where we're at with some weekly objectives and stuff. But first of all, we've got the Premier League SBC. Fortunately, now that means that we get to run this one again, which is nice. Man City was the one that we had to work on, and that also now means that I can sell Laporte, who is selling for, he's at max bin at 13k, happy days. So we'll sell him for 12k. So that's how I've done Manchester City. I did buy Foden for 10k, but it saved me actually having to buy two players for really expensive. And the reason why it was important for me to complete the Premier League SBC right now is because I need Jamie Vardy, basically. He's important to the Premier League Team of the Season SBC, with which I had to purchase just one player. So let's go. I'm going to open that first as well, by the way, guys. First thing we're going to do before we get into tactics and looking at the club and stuff is we're just going to see what we get out of our Premier League Team of the Season guaranteed. So there you go. 72 chemistry, 86 rated. We are using 7 purple cards from League SBC system. So obviously saves me a whole bunch. We're using 3 of the gold cards that I just have accumulated. I didn't pack all of them. I packed Quaresma and De Vrij. I didn't pack the goalkeeper. I had to purchase him for 7,500 coins, and then I'm using Bowen, who, funnily enough, we used today to get Rice, and we're going to be using him in the SBC as well because he's untradeable too. So we're going to submit that. That Bowen card did a job, and that gives us 2 pretty big packs. One obviously Manchester City pack, and then 1 Premier League Team of the Season. I'm not even going to lie. I'm expecting to get one of the dead picks. I'm expecting to get either. Listen, I'll tell you who I'm going to get one of. Okay, I'm going to get one of either Doherty, Madison, Wijnaldum, Edison, Alisson, or Laporte. I am certain that I'm going to get one of those 6, and we'll see. If I get anyone that's not one of those 6, I'll be quite content. I'm not even going to lie. I will be quite content. Let's get rid of that. It's not a bad pack. An 83 and 82 Premier League. Some good cards inside of there, outside of that. So not too bad at all. Lots of trade pile space right now as well. Obviously, the dream. There's a few people that will go straight into my team. Van Dijk will go straight into my team. Would allow me to sell Team of the Year Van Dijk. The right back, so Trent would go straight into my team. Eriksen would go straight into my team. Aubameyang and Lacazette, they would both go straight into my team. So there's a few players that we could get that would go straight in. So let's go and have a look at what we can get, and hope that we get something good. EA, come on, man, don't screw us out this one. Don't screw us, EA. Come on, just show me that Gabonese flag, man. Here we go. It's popping open. Brazil, goalkeeper. Liverpool, please. Yes, all right. So I told you I was going to get one of the 6. I got one of the 6 that I told you I was going to get, but I got the most usable one that I could have got. Now, what's actually not to cheer for is that the SBC, because of the way extinct cards are, the SBC, it says on Footbin is 160k, but that's because there's extinct cards. It's actually far, far more expensive than that. And it's something around the lines of like 210 to 230k. And Alisson, as a tradable card, is 210k. So I don't know how to feel about that. What is nice, though, is that we packed an Alisson. He does go into my team, funnily enough. He's going to replace David De Gea, which is really good because David De Gea is going to now be used in an SBC somewhere along the lines. 91 rated untradeable goalkeeper. A lot of people said they didn't like Alisson. I don't really care. But as you can see, he literally slots straight into my team. So the only person that we're missing now for this upcoming weekend league is Aubameyang, and I know I'll be able to get him. I assume his price is already coming down now to like the 2.3, 2.4 mark. Yeah, he's down at 2.4s there. On Thursday, when rewards come, obviously we're going to be making a lot of coins off of that, and we're going to have 3 attempts from red player picks to get him as well. So that's quite nice. Let me show you my actual squad, though. So, as I said, I want to show you guys the tactics and instructions and stuff that I've been using. So, as it currently stands, I can now get rid of De Gea and put Alisson in. As it currently stands, this is what the team will look like going into this weekend league. This is how it will start. It's a 4-5-1. It's the max chem that I can get. In fact, now, actually, it's not even too bad. It's only Varane and Mkhitaryan that are off chem, not even the goalkeeper and Van Dijk anymore. I just until before right now, Van Dijk was on 8 and De Gea was on 8. But now we've got Van Dijk on 10 and Alisson on 10. So it's not a bad pull, that as far as the goalkeeper goes. But as I said, a lot of people wanted to see and understand and know about what my tactics were. So I have a few tactics. I don't use ultra attacking. I never use it. I either use attacking, defensive, or ultra defensive. Generally, over the course of this weekend league just gone, ultra defensive was my starting go-to look. I go pressure on heavy touch. I've got 5 on width and I've got 4 on depth. Offensively, I'm on balanced width at 6, players in box down at 5, corners up at 5, and free kicks at 3. Now, one thing I want to explain to you guys, and this is why, again, I don't think you should necessarily take it into consideration other people's tactics, is because I play on pressure on heavy touch. If you guys play on pressure on heavy touch, you need to have players that also have insane stamina like mine do. Now, Juanfran is not a perfect example. He's at 87 stamina, and centre-backs are not really that important in terms of stamina and pressure on heavy touch because they're defenders. Marcos Alonso has 99. Gareth Bale only has 81, and he is one of those players that typically get subbed off because of that. Kante has 99. Mkhitaryan has 98. Henry has 90, and he's my striker, so he's not really that important either. Vieira has 94, and Cristiano Ronaldo now has 99. So previously, obviously, I had Dennis Bergkamp in there, and as I said to you guys, I didn't enjoy him very much. He's down at 84. And then, of course, we had Mbappe, who has 99, and De Bruyne, who has 99 as well. So if you have a team that's lesser than mine in terms of stamina, if you're using other players that don't quite cut it in that stamina regard, you're probably going to struggle a little bit with using pressure on heavy touch. And you have to take that into consideration. The next thing to discuss is the corners tab. I used to have my corners down at 3. And one of the ways that I concede a lot of goals is from corners. I get counted from my own corners and I concede a lot of goals. And somebody in my stream had told me, if you play with your corners up at 5, what happens is that all of your players are in the opponent's box other than 2 that stand on the halfway line. And because you've got so many in the box, all of your opponent's players also come into the box. So even if you lose possession, they can't counter you because all of their players are in the box. And so since I've started using that, I only used it for the last 4 or 5 games because I wasn't aware of it until then. But since I started using that, I haven't conceded from a counter on a corner, which is obviously brilliant, but we'll learn more as to how impactful that is over the coming days and weeks when we get, prolonged time in it. And so, yeah, I have my corners up on 4. And in terms of offensive style, balanced I find to be good. I want to practice this week on fast build-up. So I'm going to change my own tactics here. Because, again, one of the things that I get scored on the most is when possession turns over, my opponents with their rapid build-up play through the midfield just burn me and counter me and I can't deal with it. And so I think that comes from fast build-up. So I'm going to change. This is going to be my go-to tactic from the start this year. This coming weekend. Pressure on heavy touch, fast build-up, 5 on corners. And the team looks as follows. Is that right? No, that's not right. Those two need to swap around. The team looks like that. So we're going to have Henry at striker, Mkhitaryan at cam, who will hopefully be replaced by either Eriksen or Lacazette, depending on my rewards. We have Bale at right wing, which I obviously want Aubameyang to be there, but if I can't afford to get him, if things go horribly wrong through rewards and I can't afford Aubameyang, then we'll have Bale and Ronaldo on the wings. I'm totally okay with that. They both can head the ball like an absolute charm. And then Kante and Vieira in at CDM. Alonso, Van Dijk, Varane, and Juan Fran here. And of course, as you guys know, I would really like Robertson or Trent to be one of my other fullbacks instead of Juan Fran. And that would leave Varane on 8 chemistry, but I don't really care too much about that. And then in terms of my instructions, so I don't have anything for my attacker. I have been thinking about setting him to stay forwards or getting behind, stay central and getting behind and stay forwards. I haven't really enjoyed it when I've used it before, which is why I left it on balance. And it's the same with the fullback, the wingers. I actually don't use anything on them. They all balanced. Everything is balanced, and it has been balanced. And I'm gonna keep it on balance for the time being, especially for the sake of this video. My 2 CDMs we set to stay back while attacking, boom and boom, and the 2 right backs and left backs we set to stay back while attacking. Now I know some people really like to put this to cover center instead of cover wing. I personally just leave it on the default, and that's maybe it benefits me, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's not really something I've ever thought, man, Vieira's always way too wide and I've got too much space down the middle. I never really feel like that, so I don't really need to change that setting. But that's how my tactics are for the first tactic. That's what it looks like. When we move into let me just confirm that in case I make some mistakes along the way. When we move into the second tactic is my defensive tactic. What I actually, as explained in yesterday's video, one of the issues I had with this tactic was that I didn't actually set my player instructions on this, and I didn't realize until it was way too late. But it's a drop back tactic, drop back to depth. Again, I want to put my corners now up to 5 because it has a benefit. Now, again, I play on balance. I don't play drop back fast build up. I play drop back balance because the whole idea of this tactic is to preserve the ball and close the games out. And in fact, the offensive style would be better as a possession-based offensive style because players will come shorter for passes and make it easier for me to retain possession. So we're going to change to that. So this is definitely my go-to. Okay, I'm 1-0 up. This guy's good. We've got 10 minutes left. Let me just try and burn the clock, close some time out. We go drop back. We go to depth, and we just don't really look to push up too much. And then again, in terms of the formation, I'm going to need to change this one around because I've been playing around with my team a little bit today. And so it will still be the same players in the same positions, just with different tactics. And then for instructions on my drop back tactic, this is where it gets interesting. I go stay back while attacking on the 2 fullbacks. I go stay back while attacking on the 2 CDMs. And then for my 3 attackers, not Henry, but for my 3 attackers, come back on defense is imperative. Because when you don't have possession, they will literally all get into the box. And what you're left with is 8 men deep and 1 man up front, or 9 men deep, sorry, and 1 man up front with Henry just sitting up the front by himself. And so it's just a really good way to really create this horrible, horrible style of FIFA to close out games. If you concede from it, you're in trouble. Even if you get possession, it sucks because you can't do anything with it because you're pinned in so deep that your only options are to punt it up the field. So I don't recommend using this tactic as something to use over 20 in-game minutes or 30 in-game minutes or from kickoff. No chance. This is something that you need to use when you've got 5, 8, 10 minutes left and you're just trying to hang on. And so because you've got so many bodies back and only 1 body up front, essentially you're trying to hit on the counter, but your primary concern is just to not concede. So when you get the ball, you punt the ball straight up the field. If your attacker wins it, great. If he doesn't, you've still got 9 men in your box. And as I say, I don't recommend it personally as a long-term tactic in game. It's definitely something for me that is just there short-term. And then I have my gung-ho tactic. So you're probably thinking, damn, man, why have you just showed people that? Well, that's because I have a gung-ho tactic. It's a constant pressure. It's high depth. It's fast build-up. I'm, again, going to put the corners up to a max. And the whole point of this tactic is to bury people. It's literally the counter to people that play drop back 1 depth. Because you're on constant pressure, and again, you need players with high stamina for this, but because you're on constant pressure, and because, see how my depth is high, if you're playing against somebody that's on drop back, I've literally got them pinned in, so they can never get out. The only way they're going to get out is if they can skill around me or play around me with their 1 or 2 attackers, And they can never typically do that because they're already on drop back. They're already scared. They already don't feel confident in their play. So they're having to play drop back, fast build up. And so what this does is it just keeps people, literally just keeps everyone in almost the same half of the field. It keeps them completely buried. And it's a really good way to try and pin them in, make them make a mistake and get an easy chance on goal. And again, the formation, it's still the 4-2-3-1. It's still the same team, the same players in the same places. I don't know why Alonso's out there, and that's how it looks. And so for instructions on this one, stay central, get in behind, stay forward on Henry. This will also be stay forward. This will also be stay forward, and this will also be stay forward. For Vieira and Kante, they are still both stay back while attacking. It's actually more to stop to interfere with the fast build-up phase. So even when I'm on constant pressure, that's not always against people that are drop back. Sometimes that's just against people that are winning, that are playing passive, or that I can't get the ball off. There's a lot of good players that I played this weekend where they were just controlling the ball in the midfield and in my final third, and I was just chasing shadows. So I thought, okay, let's go to high pressure, constant pressure, to try and win the ball back. And what happens then is, because I'm on fast build-up, if I don't set stay back while attacking on my 2 CDMs and indeed on my 2 fullbacks, because we're on fast build-up, everybody bombs forward. So you have your 4 attackers, your 2 CDMs, and your 2 fullbacks all just sprint up the field. And of course, if you lose possession, you've only got 2 centre-backs, and that's a problem. So by setting the kind of 4 defensive players, Kante, Vieira, Alonso, and Juanfran, for me, is stay back while attacking, only the 4 attackers sprint up the field with the ball, or when we get possession of the ball, and it allows you the luxury of still being able to make a mistake and not being just harshly punished for it. And so those are my 3 tactics that I play. So we've essentially got like a really strong, aggressive initial tactic, but not too overbearing. We've got a really, really sweaty defensive tactic and a really, really sweaty offensive tactic. And of course, I've got a great team for it. Now, I've played some games with Cristiano Ronaldo. It's very hard to take these stats seriously, so don't. There are 6 squad battles games in there and 3 games where I've subbed him on in online singles toward going for weekly objectives. And I want to show you where I'm at with the weekly objectives right now as well, just so that you guys can kind of see what I've done so far. So Digne, I'm not going to go for Digne on purpose. I will put Alonso where Bale is and use Alonso to try and cross to Ronaldo to score goals. But because of the rivals points that I'm on, it's going to be really difficult to get 5 wins, let alone scoring from an assist of an EPL defender. It's just going to be difficult, right? So I'm not going to force it to try and get him. I'm not going to de-rank myself to try and get him. If it comes by having Alonso at right cam, it comes. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Gomes, we're well on our way to. We've already got 3 out of 5, and that'll give us an 89 rated team of the season that we can use in the next major league team of the season SBC. Firmino, we're also 2 out of 3 of. I'm going to complete Firmino tomorrow along with Swap Deals Player 2. So I need to assist 10 goals from the US with squad battles on minimum professional difficulty. I've already played all 4 squad battles games today to get Declan Rice. And so tomorrow we're going to refresh it. We'll take the low-rated bronze team with a bad chemistry. We'll finish off Firmino and we'll get this one done together. So that will be all done. And then I'm going to put probably Firmino or maybe Ibrahimovic into my team to get the Swap Deals Player number 1. And then that's it for that. So completionist is the other thing. So it's going to be a case of, I've done Rice and Swap Deals Player 3. It's going to be a case of, if I can get Digne, I'll also get a 50k pack from completionist. If I can't get Digne, then I don't get the 50k pack either. But as I said, I'm not going to sweat it out for it. I'm not really that fussed for an untradeable 50k pack or for a team of the season player that I'm not going to use really. So that's where we're at with the weekly objectives. And with that being said, in terms of obviously FUT rivals, like I say, I don't really care. I will finish rank 2 this week because we're already so high. So I'll make sure we finish into rank 2 to get that ultimate pack on Thursday for Premier League team of the season. And as per usual, I'm going to stick to my guns. I will still be taking one tradable pack over 2 untradables. I just think it's going to be better for me in the long run. And then with FUT swaps, I have currently 1 FUT swaps card. I need 5 to get João Cancelo. There's 1 in squad battles that we'll get. There's 2 more in weekly objectives that we'll get. There's 1 that I have, and that's 1 missing. And there's 1 more to come via an SBC. So I will still get that João Cancelo in form. Now that I have Ronaldo, I might start playing him. I don't know. I don't think I will, but I might. But other than playing him, he's going to get used in Emmanuel Petit. But also with that, I don't know if I'm going to be focusing on Emmanuel Petit more right now. I've done 5 of 11. I've done some of the big ones of Petit as well. We've done the 88 rated squad. Because of how much I enjoyed De Bruyne in at CDM, I think I might work towards Ruud Gullit next. I know I packed him before and so on and so forth, but having Gullit as my CDM next to Vieira, I think will make a massive difference into my club. So I'm going to start working towards Gullit to get him into the squad and just improve on our team a little bit more. And then I just want to give you guys a very brief rundown of what else all is available in the club before we finish on for today's video. This is all today's video is going to be. I just wanted to give like a little account tour, do the SBC, and show you guys my tactics. So in terms of the cards that we've got, obviously Ronaldo and Van Dijk are there. I've still got loads of special cards. So we're up at 435,000 coins. On the trade pile, there's 200 to 300,000 coins. That will take us to 700k. With Dabur and all the other special cards, that will easily take us to like 1.2 to 1.3 million if I sold them all. On top of the other 84s that I will sell in due course, some of the 83s as well, very expensive. I sold David Luiz for like 8k. They're very expensive. And as you can see, in fact, someone like Lamar is probably, because he's French, he's probably like way expensive right now as well. Not too bad, like 6k. Still probably worth dropping for 6k. Coman probably the same as well. He's probably going to be up there in the 5s and 6s. Wow, he's only 5k. He's actually cheaper. That's interesting. And so yeah, there's some nice stuff there. And then in terms of the special cards, obviously the trade ones, like they will take us with our trade pile as well. It takes us up to 1.1 to 1.2 million. We can even be conservative and say 1 million coins, right? So then obviously for our special cards, we have Kante, Varane, you guys know. Alisson, we just got some icons, Ter Stegen, Gareth Bale, who's just soon to be a super sub. And then for other special cards, we've got the Declan Rice cards. We have the Manuel da Costa card from our other SBC. We've only got 4 purples left now because we just used so many. And that's where we're at. Our club is pretty bare bones outside of that. So in terms of getting Aubameyang, obviously he's the one missing piece for this weekend's team. He's the only player I need now, so we're just working towards him for Thursday. Obviously, we're going to take an ultimate pack from FUT Rivals. We're going to take our rewards from FUT Champs, which is 70,000 coins. It's the 3 guaranteed team of the seasons. And it's the 100k pack. So the 100k pack and the ultimate pack and the 70,000 coins, that should net as 150,000, 200,000 if we're, on average, maybe 100,000 if we're really unlucky from those 2 packs. So we'll be looking to pick up around 150,000 to 200,000, including the coins. And on the 1 to 1.1 million, we'll already have that. Will put us on about 1.3 million. So from our team of the season pack that we'll get from EA on Thursday, basically I'm just going to need to hit about 600,000 to 1 million coins worth of players. And that is because obviously the prices are going to drop down a fair bit before they spike. But Aubameyang is currently coming in at 2.4 million. So I'm going to be about a million short from now. Obviously, I've got loads of other stuff in the club that I can sell and discard. I'm going to be grinding this week still through League SBC system, trying to make coins that way as well. So, worst case scenario, we have to use Bale for this weekend league again, and we get Aubameyang next weekend. But best case scenario, we either get Aubameyang in our red player picks, we pack Aubameyang in our blue player picks or our blue player pack, or we pack something that's going to give us enough. Like if we pack Raheem Sterling or Aguero or Bernardo Silva or Ericsson or Salah, we just sell them, buy Aubameyang. Jobs are good. And so that, guys, is going to be the end of the video for this evening. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.